Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's JJ, and yeah, this is a brand new channel that I'm starting. My focus is mainly going to be on video games, both the past and current gen video games, and from game hunting, impressions, let's plays, unboxings, all that stuff. And well, I guess for starters, a little bit about me. I'm from the U.S., but I currently live in Tokyo, Japan, and I've been living here for the past 3 years. And being in Tokyo and in Japan, I'm surrounded by this immense gaming culture, and gaming is a passion of mine, and so I want to share that passion with all of you. And I think to kickstart things, I want to go over the Capcom Retro Game Collection book series. I only have the one book, but I think there's about maybe somewhere between 5 and 7 volumes, all from Capcom. And the first 5 volumes are essentially a re-release of the Capcom Generations, and they're all on the PlayStation 1. And yeah, the one I have here is on the Ghouls and Ghosts series, or Makaimura as it's known in Japan. And yeah, let's check out the book, and then maybe we'll check out some gameplay. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so here we have the Capcom Retro Game Collection Volume 2 off of the Makaimura series, otherwise known as Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This is for the PlayStation, and from my understanding, this was re-released sometime around 2000 or so, 2001, based off of the date that I'm seeing here. And pretty much it's just a reissue of the Capcom Generations Volume 2. And the reason why it's in a book form is that it includes kind of like a guide, a strategy guide to each of the games. So if we open it up, you can kind of see some artwork there. And there's some other information. Looks like the instruction manual for the game. And then it just dives right into the original Makaimura game. Shows the controls, and it also gives some tips for each level. This is known as a very difficult game, and it is. I only recently just beat it for the first time. But as you can see here, it has a lot of neat little things. Gives some tips for all the stages. And as you keep going, then it goes into Dai Makaimura, which is Ghouls and Ghosts in the West. I've beaten this game too. Very difficult, but also very fun. And then finally, we move on ahead. This is Cho Makaimura, or Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Not sure if I'm pronouncing these right, but yeah, all sorts of stuff. And in the game itself, it shows like some more of these tips and some more of these little secrets. But it's a pretty neat little book. This is where the game is. Currently, it's running in my my PS1. But yeah, this is the book. So let's dive into the game and check it out a little bit. So here's the game running off of CRT. I'll be cutting to some in-game footage. I have like a rather inexpensive capture card, captures straight from SD. But this will kind of give you an idea, how it runs off of a CRT. And I actually been playing this game with this Hori compact stick. I think now they're known as the Hori Fight Stick Mini, but this is like the original one, and it has a pretty good weight to it. And I think it's a pretty good option to playing these games. But yeah, you hit start there. There we go. I have it. I have a Ghouls and Ghosts running right beside it off of it's running off of MAME. But yeah, these are all the options. And let's go into the collection options. We'll check out the Art 1 section of Makaimura. And as you can see, this looks like a lot of promotional materials for the game. And I'm going to go through this part fairly quickly, but feel free to pause this to have a closer look. But it's very cool that they include this in the disc. Very interesting. Let's head into Dai Makaimura, and let's go into the cast option. And the cast is essentially just going to show the enemies, their names, and a description. And again, feel free to pause this. I think if you use your phone or take a screenshot or something, you could translate exactly what's being said. But it's very cool that they include the enemies and their animations. A lot of interesting designs. But it's very cool when they do this. Next, we'll head into Cho Makaimura, or Super Ghouls and Ghosts. And let's go into the etc. option. Now this seems to include a lot of weapons and enemy types that didn't make the cut in the final game. But it would have been pretty cool to see this particular thing, this tree full of snakes. But yeah, that's a little bit about what's in the collection option. But let's go into title select. And I'm going to go with Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Now I have the Saturn port to this, and I guess there seems to be preference for the PlayStation 1 version because of there's cropping or some kind of thing on the Saturn version. But I played it on Saturn and it was still quite enjoyable. So here we have the classic intro. I remember playing this for the first time way back. And yeah, this tune kind of always stuck with me. Yeah, here, let's go get the princess. Let me change my button layout. Since I'm playing on a joystick, I prefer that square shoots and triangle jump. Makes it a little easier for me. But yeah, the game looks great. I picked up this game at a Surugaya. They sell new and used. Ooh. Getting a little fancy there. Ah. Spoke too soon. But yeah, I definitely recommend it, whether you get the book or just like the original release of this game, of this collection. But yeah, I'll pop in a few of the other games. We'll check those out, and yeah, let me just pause this and let me load up another one. Okay, so here we are. This is Makaimura, the original game. This one is very challenging, and I think I find it to be the most difficult of the 3 games found on the collection. but it's also one of my favorites. And that ladder scene that you just saw was just luck. But usually, like later on in the game, I think I'll show some footage, I would get stuck on these ladders and it would, die. But yeah, I mean, oh yeah, here we go. Here's the firebrand little demon. These little demons, they're tough, but I think they're a little bit more challenging in the later in the newer versions, or Dai Makaimura and Cho Makaimura. Oh, I got so lucky there. But yeah, this is I'm not sure how faithful this is to the arcade ports, or to the arcade versions of the game. And I don't think they are 100% faithful, but still, it's definitely a good option for playing these games. And one thing to note is, if you get this collection on the PlayStation 1, you can play it using your PS3 if you have one, or PS2. But yeah, made it without dying. Yay. But as you'll see, level 2's boss, boom, dead. And that's the thing about this game, like there, another death. I'm just cutting to my deaths here, and some of the platforming, I would get impatient. I don't know why I did that, but this little section was kind of funny, because you can't jump through these platforms, so you got to be a little bit calculating about your jumps. And there we go, dead. And dead. Oh yeah, here we go. This part is on the way to the last boss. It's so difficult. But I'm just gonna cut to the final boss battle, just so I could have my moment of glory on the internet. Boom. And yeah, very cool game. Definitely worth checking out and playing. And from here, this is just like just the end story. Pretty short. But let's dive right into Dai Makaimura. And I think, yeah, this is the first boss. I'm just going to show just a quick, I guess, montage of the levels. But I think of the 3 that are on the collection, this one is probably my favorite. They're all really good, and I love them all. Oh yeah, I got stuck with the sword. Don't really like this weapon, but it is tough. I mean, look at that. A couple hits, boom. Cerberus, I believe, is the name of this boss. Oh, this jumping section. This really tests your platforming skills. And yeah, this is a pretty neat boss. And then we'll continue. Yeah, and then that's the thing, like when you get hit by the little wizard dudes, sometimes you get transformed into a duck, an old guy. I think even like a lady, but that one seems to be rare. Then this boss. This boss is like a weird little slug thing. I don't know. But yeah. Let's see, what do we have next? And finally, we have the final stage of the game. It's super difficult, but not impossible, and definitely fun. But yeah, this brings me to the end of my video. So thank you so much for checking out Retro ReWire. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on the notifications, all that fun stuff. I'm hoping to be uploading regularly, and so please come back and check out my future stuff. And yeah, thanks for checking out Retro ReWire.